Hey, hello.
Hi.
Kristen. Hi. Hi again.
Hello,
And
hello.
to this is our jealousy catharsis number 3. I'm still feeling all the potent reverberations from our last session, and just
Oof.
I'm so I'm so grateful to be here with you. And again, dive deep. Let's see what comes up.
Mhm. The gratitude is mutual.
Yay.
Mm.
So I was saying how I think um, grounding would be really nice this moment.
Yes. Agreed.
All of you tuning in with us, let's just take a few moments to come into, let yourself arrive into this space. I know always at the beginning of things, I'm like, so it's like, I'm going to also call my energy back call our energy back into our bodies. Close your eyes to attune to your inner world. Just give yourself permission to soften and receive whatever you are arriving here with. To connect, sense and feel your connection to the earth below. Sense a cord, an anchor dropping down from the base of your spine into the earth, plugging in. Yourself. Enjoy this, the pleasure of feeling connected and feeling held by this vast, deep love of Mother Earth. Feeling what it feels like to have your body as a bridge between earth and sky. Allow your breath to circulate and flow, to fill any spaces in the body where you might be feeling tension or pain, discomfort. Just letting the breath soften the hard edges and pointy places. Receiving all of yourself with compassion. Giving loving awareness. Every moment of your breath cycle, thoughts and sensations arising within you now. Taking 3 gentle, benevolent breaths. Use these breaths to carry you back to your physical surroundings. Into this present moment. You can open your eyes whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
How are you feeling? Moments and arising for you.
Feel lighter. And also physically full because I scarfed down a bunch of dumplings
Oh, wow.
before. They were like homemade dumplings and with like kimchi and
Yum.
yeah. So when you were talking about softness, I was just like, I'm a dumpling. I just imagined our like dumpling wrapper around.
Love that.
It brought like a little smile to my face. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm good
Mm.
and very full.
Mm-hmm. Soft kimchi dumpling, yes.
Yeah.
Mm. So I almost don't want to disturb that state of peace you're in. But like, my next question is, what's been triggering you?
No, I have clarity about that, what to share.
Okay, yeah.
Because it feels like different from last week, which
Right.
I wasn't like too sure where it was going to lead, but the thing that keeps popping up in my mind is like FOMO as it relates to jealousy.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like this sort of observation of like when my partner or even some of my friends are doing things without me,
Mhm.
it like brings up all of these emotions of well like they're forgetting about me, or why wasn't I invited, or oh, shouldn't they be doing that with me? And
Mm.
then it leads to this kind of thought process of like, oh, I guess they're better, they're cooler, um like I'm not worthy of being like a participant in these things. um but I think specifically what really brought that into focus was um my partner has just kind of been in this period of um a lot of like movement and traveling due to family matters. And we've been long distance for a while, so a lot of our relationship has just been on the phone and like me just witnessing his journey, um quite literally across the country and back. And so I noticed like some of these like feelings coming up, these uncomfortable feelings when he's sharing like, oh, I like, on the way back to you, because he's returned to live with me. But along the way, there's all these friends that he was visiting, some of them who were former partners, but they maintain a friendship. Some just friends that like seem really cool, and it was just bringing up a lot. And it was agitating.
Yeah.
I just felt agitated and like not only the comparison and like the FOMO, but like, well, you need to get back to me quicker.
Yeah.
Why are you doing all these things? Like, I just need you back here with me. And that was also bringing up a lot of those feelings of like, well, am I not worthy of you just like coming back here like sooner, and all of these stories.
Okay. challenging emotions.
Mhm.
Yeah, fear of missing out is such a, yeah, it's not a fun thing to feel.
Mm-mm.
And what a perfect setup right now, okay? Like this, with, okay, this upset, which is, if you like reform the words, it's a setup for you to
Mm.
feel something in this current moment or the past moments of where he's traveling, he's away, you're in this long distance thing, and for you to feel this, agitation and the abandonment. hmm
Exactly.
And there's something here about you not getting quenched with what you need, which is painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just curious, in this state, what do you do with yourself when as you're recognizing you're feeling foam? How do you
Mm.
react or respond to this?
So there's like a few layers to it. I think in some ways I found a lot of compassion for myself in those situations based on like our last two sessions. Like those have been really helpful in just seeing myself and understanding. Like I'm noticing that maybe in the past I would have felt the guilt about even feeling that way, but in this like kind of these last few triggered moments, it was more like, no, you're it's right, it's valid for you to be feeling this way.
Mhm.
So there was more of an acknowledgement of that. Um, and then I also like vocalized my feelings um to my partner. And yeah, like I felt, sorry, that's my dog in the background, drinking water.
Aw.
Um, yeah, like there's an acknowledging of those difficult feelings. There was vocalization of the feelings, but also there was still this feeling of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have even said anything. There's almost like a backpedaling of like, or backtracking of like, maybe that was too much for me to share. Maybe I should have kept it to myself, or maybe I'm just making this out to be more than it is. Um, so there was kind of like this initial confidence or like validation, and then me just kind of being like, maybe I shouldn't have shared that.
Yeah. And was that kind of incited by how he responded to your vocalization?
Um, not even because he's very receptive, and like was just like, yeah, you're vocalizing what you need, and
Mhm.
it's your feelings aren't coming from nowhere, and I love you, and I want you to feel like you can share these things with me. um which is in a way like, because I haven't received that in the past, I'm kind of like, are you
Oh,
sure? Like
yeah.
I even had said in the conversation in the same breath, like, oh well, yeah, don't mind, I mean, like, never mind. Or
Yeah.
maybe I was starting to create suggestions for him, like maybe you do want to stay away longer, maybe you don't need to come here sooner.
Mhm.
um
Mhm.
just things that I was saying and he wasn't even suggesting.
Okay. So you like, um, kind of minimizing your own the initial feelings that were there with like kind of going now to the opposite stance. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't need this from you. I'm fine. Or like, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
okay. Okay. So in that, I guess what is the most um like what's the lingering pain from this that what's the most painful thing that's lingering from this that you find
Hmm.
in like from the moment of FOMO to like everything that happened since then after you vocalized? What's the residual feeling?
um the I would say like the strongest feeling was the guilt of even saying something.
Oh, okay.
Like the FOMO was uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but I noticed after I shared my feelings that I just kept like replaying it in my mind of like, I didn't say it right. I shouldn't have said it. Maybe I should have waited. Maybe this is not important. Like that was the inner dialogue, and that was creating a lot of discomfort.
Mm, okay. Yeah. So, so this fear that you saying it, you expressing yourself, that like, is there a fear that it caused more disconnection more than connection?
Yeah, there was like this thought process of even like, oh, he probably thinks I'm actually crazy and is not saying anything. Or he's like, now he's going to finally change his mind. Like, he's actually going to change his mind and leave
Yeah.
because I said this thing.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm. So, yeah, going into the spiral of making assumptions about what he might think about you. Yeah, which is actually, in a sense, it's a mirror to how you're judging yourself, how you're judging your judgment of your own emotions.
Yeah.
Be thinking about you. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So much judgment, like so heavy.
Mm.
And like,
Mhm.
I kept feeling like a Brillo pad, like just yeah, or like in my body, like while processing that moment and that situation. I was just like, ugh, I don't like myself, and like just feeling really uncomfortable after that.
Uh-huh. Okay. So that space, like tuning into the feeling of you spoke something that was painful to you or spoke a need or an unmet need, um and like the feeling of what you think he's thinking about you there in that space, because
Hmm.
that feeling is the reason why you will even not say it at all, right? That's the feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe in the past you just didn't even say it at all, but
Right.
this is exactly what you're feeling, which is why you'll reject yourself or not give yourself the chance to express yourself. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so on a okay, so and in that feeling I'm sensing there's a split happening here with the part of you that is um just expressed what was going on, what was inside of you, and the other part of you that is guilting you, maybe like judging you for saying expressing yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then in that judgment, what is what are you now thinking, the part of you that did say it, like what is that part of you now believing about yourself? So
Mm.
thinking.
The part of me that said it, um, it that part of me is kind of like good, like got it off your chest. What's the problem?
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
Like, you said what you needed to. He responded well. What's the problem?
Yeah. Yeah, what's the problem? Yeah. And now the one who's judging, now what do they say?
I'm just very fearful of oh, like, yeah, but if you like say too much, then like you're gonna come off a certain way, you just look foolish, or um, like you gotta be cool. Like that wasn't cool. That didn't seem cool of you
Yeah.
to express those feelings, like all those emotions.
Mhm.
Um, like you could have just handled it by yourself.
Mhm. Oh, could have handled it by yourself. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is another way of you should have just kept it secret. don't show anyone what you're really feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Could reject you. Yeah. Mhm.
And also like you'll figure it out. You like it's almost this voice of like, you're smart enough. You'll figure it out.
Mhm.
Why do you need to involve other people in your mess?
Mhm. Ah, okay. And it's also, this is the part that's also encouraging your independence,
Yeah.
to be completely self-sufficient, don't need anything from anyone. You just take care of all your messy stuff by yourself because it's embarrassing, or don't reveal that to the outer world.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
There's like a sort of pride. Like the on that train of thought, it's like, oh, but it's easier to not involve other people.
Yeah.
And then there's like a pride attached to that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is actually, so this part is the one that it's interesting. It's pointing at the one who's feeling the stuff as the problem,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not recognizing that its judgment is the problem.
Mm,
It's the same dynamic
yeah.
between also like parent and child, where the child is maybe having a tantrum about, or yeah, being very emotionally expressive about something, and then the parent getting frustrated with the child because the parent feels powerless to help the child calm down. It's triggering their own sense of helplessness, and so you blame the child for having the emotions
Mm,
and make the child the problem. Like, you're the problem. We could be at peace right now if you were just, if you would just be quiet, but you can't be quiet.
yeah.
You're the problem. And so it becomes a um yeah. So it becomes like the child is a scapegoat for the parents' feelings of their own inadequacy.
Oof, yeah, I got goosebumps. Like as I was voicing that judgmental side,
Yeah.
like as I was saying it in real time, I immediately made the connection with my dad.
Oh, okay.
Like he's,
Like
yeah,
the way that he talked to you.
yeah. Or even like how he talks about himself. Like I remember in the past, just like moments where I'd be like, oh, why can't you ask, so and so for help? Or like, why don't you just talk to our this part of our family or whatever it may be. I might make a suggestion and he would be like, we shouldn't be airing our dirty laundry. Like, don't like I don't need anyone. Like, I don't need anyone's help. It's fine. Like, I'm fine. And
Mm.
that could be like emotional, it could be like financial, it could be material, it could be anything. And he's just like, no, I don't need anything. I don't need anyone.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Just, yeah, that wall of um it's almost like this kind of like toxic self-sufficiency that's coming from, I can't trust anyone and I have to do it myself, and it's a way to control feeling helpless about needing others, or like
Mm,
do need others, but the pain of that when you did need someone and they weren't able to give you what you need, and so you just shut out needing at all, just being like, nope,
yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
It's so relatable. It's such a, yeah, it's such a universal shadow.
Mm, yeah. And
Yeah.
now it's like reminding me that in those situations with my partner, or even certain friends,
Mhm.
where I have an understanding and even like empathy about what they have going on, I already make the assumption for them that they can't help me. I'm like, oh, like they have so much going on. Like I can't really trust them to receive what I need because they need to take care of themselves. So there's all these layers of like the mistrust and me like just assuming that the other person isn't capable of holding space for me for these things.
Mhm.
So I just like preemptively am kind of like
Yeah.
not not allowing the other person to show up if I ask.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. And also that belief didn't just come out of nowhere too, right? The assumption that they're not capable of supporting you. Um, like that belief was formed from an actual thing that happened where
Right.
um yeah, something that you needed wasn't the support wasn't met for you. So this is the imprint that
Mm-hmm.
yeah, now this it became a belief that okay, just the world at large
Mm-hmm.
I can't trust. I can't they're not capable. Mhm.
Yeah, and it's wild because,
Self. Yeah.
sorry, say that again.
And that like I have to deal with this by myself in my own
Yeah,
yeah, in my own self, in the prison of my own self.
exactly. Yeah, I'm like picturing myself like in my childhood bedroom, just like the door locked and like taking care of myself. And the funny, like thinking about that imprint and like childhood scenarios. My own dad, who says that he doesn't need anyone, he wasn't able to be there for me in many ways too. So it's like, I think there's a connection there as well.
Mhm. Okay, so this yeah, shutting yourself up in the bedroom. Mhm. Yeah. And like so that being a way you coped with trying and it failing, like trying to get something you needed that was just not possible, that wasn't getting met. And so
Mhm.
you being in the room, shutting yourself in, um, became, yeah, like, so that was better than the pain of trying and not getting it.
Mhm.
So, okay, so what does it feel like being in that space where you're you're just yeah you're shutting yourself in,
Mm.
assuming no one's capable of supporting you? You feel it too. Yeah, what does that feel like?
It's very lonely and just, yeah, it's like not, I know it sounds obvious, but it feels very isolating and lonely. And there's sort of this like, it's like, I used to have this image of like me being like alone on the moon.
Yeah.
And it's like cold and dark, and that's what it felt like. It didn't feel warm or like the sound would carry. Like I was just so cut off.
Yeah. Mhm. Sounds very lonely and painful, or yeah, to know that there's to feel that disconnection, mhm, from
Mm.
life out there. Yeah.
And there's like a really, really, really deep yearning.
Yeah.
Like it's like I remember that feeling now. It's like this um like deep pain in my chest and like solar plexus,
Mhm.
just like this yearning and like hunger almost,
Mhm.
like just wishing there was some kind of like companionship or connection, but like yearning, like really deep, painful yearning. Like I have this image in my room where I'm in my room and I had these like glow in the dark stars on the ceiling, and I would just lay on my floor for like what felt like hours, by myself, looking up at them and just like thinking like, is there anybody out there like that I can connect with? Like, is there anyone out there that like would truly get me?
Yeah. This is your teen self, right? Yeah.
Yeah, very teen self.
Okay. So I want to I want to have like a little intervention with her. And, um, actually, you're saying you feel this in your heart and solar plexus. Should I go ahead and really let yourself tune into that deep yearning you felt? You let yourself tune into what she was feeling there, alone in her room. Go ahead and bringing in your present Kristen to her and letting her know you see her now. And you feel her ache and to be completely present with her. Let her know she's not alone. That you felt her call. And that you're listening to her. She's the most important person to you, for you to be unconditionally present with her. Let her know it's not fair that she shut away here with no one knowing how cold and isolated she is. Here to provide for her the complete antidote. Ask her what she needs to feel like everything she desires can be completely quenched. That you have the power here to give her everything, anything she wants. Mm-hmm.
She just wants a big hug and someone to listen to her talk.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants flowers.
Well, she knows exactly what she needs. as she receives that, let yourself feel what it feels like to fully receive that antidote feeling. Let it seep into your body, receiving that feeling of fulfillment completely.
She wants more laughter too. Just kind of like, I don't know how to articulate it, but this like feeling like when you really love someone where like all of their quirks and characteristics are not something to criticize or judge. It's just kind of like, oh, that's Kristen. That's all. It's just, how she is. Like she's being really goofy and silly right now, and I'm just like laughing with her.
Okay.
I'm not like criticizing her or being like, you're so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. An uplifting energy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna ask her if she would like to be escorted to her safe haven.
Mm-hmm.
To emerge from this current space and taking you to your sanctuary, place where everything you need and want is here, place where you never have to feel cold and isolated and shut in again, where there's joy and laughter and lightness. As you enter your safe haven together, I want you to find a source of water here. Once you find it, you have the ritual, and you just let yourself receive this frequency of unconditional love that this water holds, this magical healing water that wash away any suffering, pain that she felt before. Just to let her be rebirthed here and baptized into this new life where she's loved and seen and connected with everyone she loves. Place where there's no lack. Letting yourselves receive, acclimate to this new reality. And ask her if there's anything else she could need, hear, want to help her feel more cherished and more loved.
She doesn't need anything else. So much magic already.
She's magic.
She wants me to visit her more, though.
Okay. Yeah. I was just gonna ask if she wanted to stay there or she wants to merge with you back. There's no wrong answer, just whatever she wants.
She says that this place that we're visiting right now is deep inside me, so I can always visit her. And she wants me to check in on her more. But she's really excited about who I am today.
We're ready. Holding all these messages in your heart.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Oh, I said whenever you're ready, you can come back while holding the messages she had for you and for each other in your heart. How do you feel?
Oh my gosh. That was really magical.
Your teen self, she's
Yeah, she was like, "You're cool."
Big compliment. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, cool." Yeah.
Yeah, she's seeing you.
Yeah. And it was really interesting because the safe place that was like the moon.
Oh,
But
interesting.
like when I went with her, it was much brighter and like you could see all the stars really bright. And um when we found the source of water, like we just like called the ocean up from the earth into the moon to like
Oh,
just like
yeah.
shower us with
Mhm.
ocean water.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is powerful. Mhm.
very sparkly.
Hmm. Ocean came up the last time too. Yeah. Deep,
Hmm.
big,
Deep
powerful.
ocean connection.
Yes. Yeah.
And the moon.
Yeah. Very subconscious, feminine, everything.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mhm. And, and how did it feel to be acknowledged? It's so funny, like where you're going to acknowledge her and then she acknowledged you. How did it feel for your adult self to be acknowledged by her?
It was kind of surprising because I was so focused on her and like I was like holding her hands and I was just kind of like, yeah, I was just really focused on her. And then for her to like have this sort of consciousness and be like, yeah, you're like really cool. It was almost like she was just reassuring me too.
Yeah, you're on the right track. And look
Yeah.
at all the work you did for you to recognize her now and be able to connect with her.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was powerful.
so powerful. And this is, all these different ages of ourselves that they're still active and a part of us. I think that's always just astounding to recognize that it's not in the past. These are all current. They're another timeline, but it's still like living in your body as these memories and still there in the quantum field.
Yeah, it's not static. Like those past selves are not static. Like
Uh-huh.
not like frozen in time. Like
Oh, yeah. So when we're emotionally accessing that pain and those memories, we're changing the past.
mhm,
Yeah. Mhm.
absolutely.
Yes. It's so fascinating. And that, yeah, we're constantly recreating our, like the story. So now
Hmm.
just shifted that frequency of in lack and yearning for something that wasn't there, and shut in and isolated. And now we've just like pattern interrupted that with the feeling of coming together and her loneliness being healed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that acknowledgement back and forth, that timeline, current timeline, speaking to each other.
Hmm. Yeah. Very magical. Like almost like that yearning and emptiness was like the flip side of it was this sense of like the yearning was like kind of reaching outwards, but then tapping into the magic and like wonder. It was like, oh, like I have what I need. Like all the magical things that I saw with with my younger self was just like, oh, it's all you. Like,
Yeah.
you have magic. Like, you called the ocean. Now that we're looking at the stars again, they're very bright and magical. There wasn't like this sense of like reaching out, but just like look, like by looking more in, like inward, I like the filter changed in a way.
Okay. And I love that you went back to the memory where you're looking up at the glow up stars,
Yeah.
the moon, and also at the beginning of this, you were talking about the pain of FOMO, the fear of missing out,
Hmm.
about things. The magic is out there, and this was about you understanding that you're the magic. The magic was you.
Yeah.
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 Wow. Yeah. Thank you for threading that back in. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm feeling like left out or like I'm not having a good time, it's an indication of maybe like disconnection from my own magic and not like,
Yeah.
oh, like these people are leaving me out and like these people aren't doing these things for me.
Uh,
I'm just not being present like with myself and like accessing that vast like magic that I have.
absolutely. Hmm. That's profound. I love that.
Ooh, there's more goosebumps. I wish you could have seen this ocean thing. It was really cool.
Well, I was with you on some.
Yeah. The benevolent witness just like up there, like, oh,
In the ether.
yeah.
In ether. Wow. It's just, I think it's such an easy blind spot to get into when you're just seeing the life and fun out over there and you're just
Yeah.
looking there, being externally focused with what I'm missing out over there and
Hmm.
not seeing that, yeah, there is abundant magic inside of you. But that abundant magic inside of you, it was initially encased in something that didn't seem magical, or it was just this empty space of loneliness. And so that's also something to acknowledge that,
Hmm.
initially it was loneliness and feeling cold and disconnected and being in the room shut in, and that needed to be witnessed completely, um, like letting yourself merge also with that frequency that can transform.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
that comes through the transformation. It was the transformation that facilitated you to recover or uncover.
absolutely. Whoa. This dumpling became something altogether different. Yeah.
My goodness, wow. Love that. Mhm.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Oh God, thank you so much. I feel magic tingles.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I'm thinking about the Little Mermaid again.
Okay, yes. Hmm.
Because like, Ariel wanted to be out there, part of that world. And then in the end, doesn't she goes back to the ocean and
Goes
she's,
back to the ocean. Yeah.
yeah, and she like bridges kind of the land and water instead of like only being in the land. And
Yeah.
she still gets to be a mermaid and like have her love and her friends and like,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The original Hans Christian Andersen is,
right. That one,
I think she does return to the ocean, but she becomes sea foam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just yes, note Disney's rendition. But Grimm brothers, was it the Grimm or Hans Christian Andersen? Yes.
There, one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, she does return to the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Returning to the ocean, the waters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for, again, diving deep.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Or maybe, yes. Yeah, so grateful. Mhm.
Yeah.
Ah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here, presencing us. Okay, so a good moment to close our session, unless there's anything else you want to ask or anything.
Just to reflect back that you're so masterful at like bringing the thread back like full circle,
Yeah.
because there could be so much, that can come up, but yeah, at the end you're always just like connecting it back to the to the original conversation, and it all like just clicks.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, thank you. Yes. I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
love.
Hope you get lots of good rest, integrating this integration. Integrating this integration. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've been in such a process of integration.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
bringing up so much physically.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like, can we talk about that for a moment?
yeah, this is like we're doing emotional surgery here.
Yeah.
Hey, you. Oh, disowned you. Let me. Okay, come back.
Yeah. So just like restless sleep and like just,
Yeah.
yeah, my body's like agitated. But yeah, like trying to practice gentleness through that. But yeah, there's lots of integrating the integration.
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. This is all the inner work that is creating our new world.
Yeah.
So
Reconfiguring.
reconfiguring, yeah, repatterning, reclaiming.
Yeah.
Well, good work.
Thank you so much.
And thank you everyone who tuning in and witnessing this. And this is also like what is happening here and what you feel resonating with you. Just know that you're also equally getting the healing. Yeah, because we're all connected. Your healing, it's my healing, it's our healing.
Mhm. Absolutely.
All right, says 1000% getting the healing. Yay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I wish you a restorative rest of your evening and week. And um, we'll be seeing each other again next Thursday, right?
Yes.
Thursday, 8 p.m.
Yes, I wish the same for you. Thank you again. See you next week.
All right.
All right.